Hello everyone. Welcome to today's presentation about military suicide. My name is Dr. Jared Skillings. I'm a board-certified clinical health psychologist, and I'm glad you are able to join us. On your screen, you will see the cover from Time magazine in June 2012. This indicates that one soldier a day, on average, commits suicide. What we know from the statistics is that it's actually even more than that now. About 500 service members took their life from suicide in 2012, and this number continues to grow. There are significant risk factors for suicide. Being between the ages of 20 and 24 and being male, being in the enlisted ranks, not an officer, in regards to race, identifying yourself as other is the highest risk, and identifying yourself as Caucasian is the second highest risk. Regarding marital status, the highest risk is being separated or divorced, and being single is the second highest risk for suicide. Some stressors that might lead someone to consider suicide include problems with your job or occupation, relationship difficulties, recent loss or trauma, financial stress, a serious change in your physical health or an injury, re-entry into the field after a deployment or a new assignment. In order to judge how risky someone's thoughts about suicide are, there are 4 questions you should think about. Number 1, is the person thinking about suicide? 2, how serious are they about suicide? 3, do they have a plan for committing suicide? And 4, do they have access to a suicide method, such as pills, a gun, or a rope? Here's a graph that explains the level of risk and the kinds of treatment you might have to consider if someone is seriously suicidal. If you would like more information about suicide warning signs, here is a link to a video produced by the Army that will give you more information. What should you do about suicidal thoughts? If you are thinking about suicide, please remember this. There is always another answer than suicide, even if you cannot think of it right now. Your problems are probably not as bad as they feel, even if they feel terrible. A suicide crisis is almost always temporary. And please remember that you are not alone. A lot of other people and service members have felt suicidal and felt hopeless and have been able to make it through and be stronger on the other side. Also, if you're thinking about suicide, please do these things immediately. Number 1, don't keep these feelings to yourself. You need to tell someone, like a buddy or a family member that you trust, your doctor, or your chaplain. 2, try to think of reasons for living. Think of things that have kept you going in the past, or things that you enjoy. Also, think of people who would miss you if you did commit suicide. Try to think of barriers and reasons that you shouldn't do it, and reasons that are positive to keep on living. It takes the courage and strength of a warrior to ask for help. It might be even more difficult to ask for help than it is to help others. What to do if you suspect that a loved one is suicidal? Number 1, ask them about it. Asking about suicide does not make it worse. 2, get help from a professional like your doctor or psychologist. 3, call a suicide hotline or crisis number to get assistance. These kind of hotlines can be used by concerned family or friends. 4, if the suicide risk seems high, remove the suicide methods like guns or medications. If you suspect that a loved one or friend is suicidal, have the courage to help your buddy. Even one suicide is too many. And if you would like additional information about who to contact in a crisis, here are several numbers, most of which are military, to be able to help you or your family members get through this crisis. That is the end of our presentation today. I hope this information was helpful. Thank you very much for listening.